Prosecutors are seeking a habitual criminal enhancement for a Scottsbluff man arrested on a drug distribution charge this week. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, 49-year-old Benjamin De Los Santos III was arrested Monday after a warrant was served on a Scottsbluff residence, and court documents say he was caught with 25 grams of meth inside his backpack. He's charged with possession of meth, 10 to 27 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia, and the habitual criminal enhancement. That could result in a mandatory minimum 10 years in prison. NDOC records show that De Los Santos was sentenced to 3 to 6 years in prison in 2013 for delivery of an exceptionally hazardous drug, and 4 to 6 years in prison in 2020 on a meth distribution conviction, both out of Scottsbluff County. He was arraigned on the latest charges Wednesday in Scottsbluff County Court. Well, a 26-year-old Terrytown woman who had been on the run from law enforcement since January has been sentenced. Tiffany Anaya pleaded no contest to 4 charges, including distribution of fentanyl and possession with intent to distribute fentanyl. Anaya was slated to be sentenced earlier this year, but failed to show before being apprehended last month. Last week, she was sentenced to a total of 3 to 5 years on all sentences by District Judge Leo Dobrovolny. And a family favorite tradition that started near the base of Chimney Rock is being continued by the Legacy of the Plains Museum. Museum Director Dave Wolf says they're excited to bring back the Oregon Trail Wagon Train for the first time since 2018.
So for years, Gordon Howard had his wagon train experience there at the foothills of Chimney Rock. And basically what he would do is he would give out wagon rides, tell stories, they'd have sing-alongs, and then they'd have a dinner, and it would be a ribeye, baked potato, homemade sourdough bread, and then homemade ice cream.
Wolf says they too will be serving up ribeyes, potatoes, green beans, and rolls, just like Gordon Howard did. In addition, there will be lots of family-friendly fun, including wagon rides, roping activities, cow pie tossing contests, pedal cars, and the Longhorns will be on display as well. This year's event is set for June 23rd, and Wolf says tickets are selling fast. Cost is $50 for adults and $25 for kids, and you can call the museum at 436-1989 for more information. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
Life Care promises us that we are looked after and taken care of properly.
If I didn't have Life Care, I would be probably scared to death about having enough money for when I got older or when I got sick.
Moving in here was an easy decision and in fact a no-brainer. I looked at it as actually buying long-term care insurance and in retrospect a good move.
One of the things that convinces me that we did the right thing is no matter what happens, we will constantly be taken care of.
The whole thing is just vital because you don't have to be worried about what's ahead for you. It's there, it's in black and white, and that's reassuring.
This is home. It has been from the day I moved in.
Welcome back. A new bronze statue of Nebraska author Willa Cather was unveiled Wednesday morning in the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C., with Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy saying the addition marks a unique and historic day. The new statue joins that of the other Nebraska sculpture, Ponca Chief Standing Bear, marking the first time 2 statues from a single state stand in Statuary Hall, with one on each side of the entrance to the House chambers. During the ceremony, Nebraska 3rd District Congressman Adrian Smith called Cather a trailblazer in the literary world, with many of her works an honest and rich retelling of the challenges facing Nebraskans and their unique relationship with the land.
Even after moving from Nebraska, her experiences stayed with her and testified to the unique spirit of Nebraska in many of her timeless works of literature. Through her depth and brilliance, Cather earned a lasting place among the great American writers. It is fitting she will now be enshrined here in our nation's capital, giving its millions of annual visitors the opportunity to reflect on her greatness.
After the bronze artwork was revealed to the public, U.S. Senator Deb Fischer called Cather one of the state's finest literary artists.
Let your fiction grow out of the land beneath your feet. This quote, attributed to Cather, is an apt summation of the author's life and work. Cather's vivid, reflective writing has become synonymous with the pioneer spirit of Nebraska.
Also in attendance were other members of the Nebraska congressional delegation, Governor Jim Pillen, members of the Cather family, and the sculpture artist. With the unveiling, Littleton Alston becomes the first African-American artist to have one of their works added to the art displayed inside the Capitol building. And the Scottsbluff Police Department has been awarded a speed enforcement grant funded by the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office. Sergeant Philip Eckerberg says this grant is for speed enforcement on Broadway and 27th Street every Friday and Saturday evening starting on June 9th and ending August 5th. This grant will allow for 2 extra officers to patrol Broadway and 27th Streets for speed and any other traffic violations every day of the grant.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
We're going to have a couple of thunderstorms around the area early this evening. Those will move out then and leave us with partly cloudy skies overnight. Temperatures fall down into the 50s. So storms this evening, a good chance of rain returns Saturday. It'll be cooler this weekend with more rain possible even into early next week. 84 yesterday after a morning low of 59. Nothing new in the rain gauge yesterday. Still just those 2600s for the month. Closing in on a half an inch below normal. 1048 for the year, about 3 inches above normal. Hit 83 today after 2 more days of 80s out there. And we did have 2/100ths of an inch of moisture so far today. Rain chances are going to creep right back up tomorrow and especially Saturday into Sunday, Monday, and rain chances not going to go away next week as they will be isolated to scattered around the region. Winds will be in check pretty much for the entire week. Let's take a look at our severe weather threat for tonight. It is very limited, as severe weather is mainly going to be limited here the next several days. Tomorrow we do have a slight risk of some severe storms in eastern Colorado. Marginal risk up through Nebraska, and on into Saturday we're void of that. Heavy rain is going to be a concern tonight. Tomorrow you'll see off to the north and south of us, but Saturday we're right in the bullseye of heavy rain possibilities with a slight risk of excessive rain across most of the region. That shifts a little further south and west on Sunday, but Monday still remains in the area. Our current temperatures right now depends on if you've had some rain showers move through. It's cooler in those areas, warmer in others. 87 right now in North Platte, 86 up in Chadron. It's only 79 in Scottsbluff, but just 67 in Wheatland. Winds are out of the south at 5 to 15, and some gustier thunderstorms there have got winds gusting higher than 30 miles an hour. Very isolated variety of showers and storms move out this evening, clearing skies as we go overnight into early tomorrow. Our Friday is going to not be too bad, actually, here across the region, as we're going to see just isolated thunderstorms possible late in the day tomorrow. They will move out, and then Saturday really looks to be a day when things start to turn a little wetter, as we see by even midday, we start to see showers and storms moving in from the north and some from the west, converging here across the region to give us a good chance of rain. Lows tonight, generally in the 50s, highs tomorrow, mostly in the 80s, some 70s from Kimball over to Cheyenne. And as far as rain goes, a little bit tonight, a little bit more tomorrow, and rain's going to be pretty decent over the next 7 days. We could see half an inch to an inch or maybe even more, depending on which forecast model you look at. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies, scattered storms during the evening. We'll call it 56 tomorrow. Just a stray thunderstorm possible. 86 warm degrees. We cool off considerably Saturday back into the low 70s. We'll stay there Sunday, Monday with rain chances continuing. We dry out a bit Tuesday, Wednesday to bring a chance of some thunderstorms back in on Thursday.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
It's Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank. Welcome to South Central Nebraska, Wilsonville. It's one of the greatest little towns you've probably never heard of in Nebraska. But this year we're getting to learn all about forage on Fridays in the Field as we follow SR Farms Alfalfa Company and Husker Hay Haulers. Talking with me now is Steve Rice. Steve, thanks so much for letting us onto your farm to follow you this growing season. Give us some background how we got to where we are today with SR Farms Alfalfa.
Sure. We grew up in the feedlot and farming industry here in Furnace County. I'm a fifth generation farmer and my sons are the sixth generation. Grew up in a family feedlot operation and we ran all of the products that we raised through the feedlot. And in '93, my brother Scott and I formed SR Farms, started farming a little on the side. And then in '95, my dad retired from the feedlot and we took over the farming operation. And we continued to do a little bit of row crop, cow-calf stuff for a while, plus we had round bales of alfalfa. In '97, we joined the Nebraska Alfalfa Marketing Association, and we started putting up square bales. And in 2000, we sold off everything that we had as far as a row crop or cow-calf operation, and we strictly do alfalfa production and trucking.
And when we think about it, hay in the last year has become one of the hottest commodities out there just because supply is tight, and it's tight not only here in Nebraska, but it's tight across a lot of the feeding states, and you said you service 28 states. So here in the last year, what has the drought done to these alfalfa fields, and how is that impacting you?
Well, last year with the drought, we went into the fall in extremely poor soil conditions, terrible as far as moisture. And then we had extremely cold weather there for a while this winter with no cover. And we experienced more winter kill this year than we did any other year that we've been in operation. Some of it was just drought. By the time third and fourth cutting rolled around here in Furnace and Red Willow County, the dryland corners died. And generally it just goes dormant, but it was so dry it couldn't even, make it through the winter. So, and that's a big area. I mean, it goes from Texas all the way up into the Dakotas. And so when you take that big of an area and put that severe a drought into it, it's going to make your prices go high and your demand is very high.
As we look around, we see a couple hay trucks sitting here, and you guys are going to be loading here this afternoon. I would assume that means you've been keeping these guys on the road here for the last couple years then, pretty hot and heavy.
Yeah, we started off, my brother and I started by delivering to our customers in Kentucky, Pennsylvania. I would stay home one week and dispatch, and then he would be out on the road, and then we'd switch the next week. And then we've got full-time drivers now. Myself, my boys, our hired man, and we do a lot of the stuff within 300-400 miles of home. If we need another truck on the road other than our long haul that's dedicated to us, we've got a real good truck driver that delivers every week. He was in Ohio last week. He's in Iowa today. So we're trying to keep busy, and we deliver quite a bit of hay.
Wow, that is amazing to hear that everything's going on. Coming into this spring, we've seen some late spring moisture. South Central Nebraska has been able to latch on and catch a little bit of that. Is that helping us any and going right now, or really is it a little too late?
Well, it was a godsend that we got that. I mean, we got over 3 inches of rain here. We weren't going to cut a lot of first cutting acres, and I don't know that I've ever experienced that. It's been short before, but to not cut first cutting would have been really bad. We have freeze damage in some of the fields. We have drought yet, so we're seeing plants anywhere from 3 feet tall to 6 inches tall in the same field. So it's going to be a really inconsistent first cutting, which unfortunately is not going to help our supply issue a lot.
Say a lot, I'm sure dairies and those, they're looking for a certain quality of hay, and so that variability is going to be a tough there. Kind of walking us through the hay growing season. First cutting, it's probably going down now here for the next couple weeks. When can we expect second and third cutting likely?
We just started on the 20th, knocking some first cutting down, and it'll be 28 days when we come back to cut second, if weather permits. And so hopefully we'll start putting up some hay. We knocked some down early, trying to get some inventory built back up before this chance of rain this week, but if it rains, that's okay.
Exactly.
We'll take it.
At this point, we'll keep praying for rain, but we'll take all that we can get. Yep. Well, Steve, thank you again for letting us on. It's going to be probably about 6 to 8 weeks before we get to talk again. What are you guys going to be working on in between now and then for the next time we talk?
Hopefully we'll have first cutting done. We'll be, well, maybe even well into, if not close to done with second cutting. Hopefully these sheds will be full of hay. But we'll do that. We'll start continuing to deliver to our customers as needed, and we'll just go through the cycle. Every 28 days we try to be cutting hay.
Well, thank you. That again is Steve Rice, SR Farms Alfalfa Company and Husker Hay Haulers, and this is Fridays in the Field.
Logos in Gearing is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gearing.
Let's take a peek at your weekend community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tonight, they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But when it is broken, staff at one local tourism attraction wants to ensure they fix it the right way. Some major repairs are needed on one of the walls at one of the buildings and are bringing in experts next week to make those repairs. Staff at Scottsbluff National Monument are teaming up with experts from Cornerstone's organization and Historic Preservation Training Center, their National Park Service equivalent. These two historic and cultural preservation specialists will aid in the repairs to an outside maintenance garage parking lot entrance wall that was built in 1936, where the adobe has now failed. Scottsbluff National Monument Superintendent Dan Morford explains.
We're going to be making around 400 blocks and then let them dry. And then in August, the crew will also be back again, and we will be actually rebuilding a section of the little wall and the section of the building with adobe bricks that back to the same product that was there originally.
The initial class is not open to the public, though later classes on adobe brick making may be offered, as they will need approximately 400 bricks for the restoration. Scottsbluff National Monument is free to the public and offers a variety of hiking trails and is open from sunrise to sunset. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.